They told him not to volunteer for that seat. They told him the men who sat there rarely came back alive. They told him it was exposed, unarmored, impossible to survive. And yet, when the mission ended, 14 enemy bombers were falling out of the sky, their wings torn apart by gunfire from the very position they called the suicide seat. This is not a story about luck. This is not a story about advanced technology. This is the story of one man who sat where death was expected and refused to die. The seat no one wanted. In the early years of World War II, air crews feared one position more than any other. Not the pilot, not the navigator, but the gunner who sat in the most exposed section of the aircraft, often isolated, barely armored, with nothing but thin metal and cold air between him and the enemy. Crewmen whispered about it in briefing rooms. Veterans avoided it when assignments were made. New recruits were warned in quiet voices. Enemy fighters always attacked there first, because if they killed the gunner, the bomber was defenseless. The position had nicknames. Some called it the glass coffin. Others called it the open grave. But most crews knew it by one name alone: the suicide seat. The man who didn't flinch. He wasn't famous when the war began. He wasn't a decorated ace or a war hero. He was just another airman, young, focused, and quiet. But when the assignment came, and the crew needed someone to sit in that position, he didn't step back. He stepped forward. No speeches, no bravado. Just a calm nod as if he already understood the risk and accepted it. Some men fight because they believe they will survive. Others fight because they believe someone has to. He belonged to the second kind. The first mission. The first time enemy bombers appeared, the sky darkened. Engines roared. Flak burst like black flowers in the air. Tracer rounds stitched glowing lines across the clouds. From his position, he saw everything first. The enemy formation was massive, tight, disciplined, deadly. 4 engine bombers moving together like a single machine. Most gunners froze the first time. Hands shook. Breathing turned shallow. He didn't. He waited. He watched. And when the lead bomber crossed into range, he squeezed the trigger. When the sky answered back, the gun bucked violently. Shell casings spilled around him. The smell of burning powder filled the air. Enemy gunners returned fire instantly. Rounds slammed into the aircraft. Metal screamed. Glass shattered. The position shook so violently it felt like it would tear free. But he didn't stop firing. He adjusted his aim, not wildly, not desperately, but with precision. Short bursts. Controlled fire. Then something happened that the crew had never seen before. The lead bomber's engine erupted in flame. Seconds later, its wing folded inward, and the aircraft began to fall. One bomber down. The moment everything changed. Enemy formations relied on intimidation. They expected bombers to absorb punishment and keep C.